All right, we're back with A Star Is Born spoiler review. So we're in the spoilers now. And I did like, of course, Bradley Cooper probably knows everybody in Hollywood, so getting people to come in and do little cameos, um, like Dave Chappelle, Alec Baldwin. I mean, what was they had one little teeny scene each. And also, I was pleasantly surprised about Andrew Dice Clay. In fact, when he came on the screen, I was like, "Damn, I know who that is. Who is that?" And playing her father, and I thought he did a pretty good job. I've really never seen him act before. I mean, I've seen him do his little, show on Showtime and stuff like that, but I've never really seen him act. But yeah, he did a pretty good job. No complaints. And the fact that I didn't know who he was shows that I didn't think he was awful. But anyway, let's talk about the plot of the film. All right, and what I didn't like about it. All right, so again, reiterating what I said in my non-spoiler review, I thought the chemistry, I thought the acting, I thought the music all held this film together very, very well. Okay, so they were the glue that kind of held a very mediocre script together. And again, there's going to be tons of people out there that are going to love this film far more than me. But here's my problem with the film. Okay, so if you're watching this, of course you've seen it. So let's just get into the nuts and bolts of it. So we start out with this meet cute situation where Bradley Cooper's character Jackson he's having a rough time for whatever reason that we really don't know. But we already know that he drinks up front because he's searching for a bar with his driver, Greg Grunberg or whatever his name is from Heroes. Greg Grunberg, I think his name is. But anyway, so he's looking for a bar, and he ends up finding this tranny bar, or it's a bar where men dressed like women, etc. So it's a gay bar, or whatever sense. But he starts hanging out, and of course, Lady Gaga just appears on stage, and he's overwhelmed by her, and he's taken by her, and he immediately falls in love with her. So, okay, if you could get past the coincidence of their meeting to begin with, which is odd, he just happens to be in a gay bar, but she's not gay. In fact, I was waiting for him to say, "Are you a real woman?" or ask the dude, "Is she a real woman?" But I did like, the taking off of the eyebrows, and she hiding it. She's like, "I don't have an eyebrow on." She's like, "No, the whole point is so I can see your face." And again, there's some lines that stuck with me, and that's one of them. And of course, they're making fun of her nose throughout the entire thing, which is probably true. I mean, it was probably one of the things that did hold her back was the fact that she's not, a glamour princess, but she's so talented, and what the hell did it matter? But anyway, so we get into really her, and I could buy that this also happened in real life with Farrah Fawcett and Lee Majors. So if you haven't seen the Charlie's Angels movie, where Tricia Helfer, this is before Battlestar Galactica, plays Farrah Fawcett, very good film. I definitely recommend it. It's purely on video. But anyway, so it's exactly the same thing in real life where he was a big star. He married her. She became a bigger star than him, and he became jealous and abusive and etc. to the point where she had to leave him. And that's where I kind of thought they were going with it, and they kind of did a little bit. But my biggest problem with this story is the fact that we have a music film. Every music film I see, somebody is an alcoholic or a drug addict all the time. I mean, I'd be press you to find a music based film where one of the characters, if it's a band, or the main character, being a historic, wherever it's a true story, isn't an alcoholic or a druggie. I mean, it's all the time. And here we are with a fictional piece where we did not have to, attach a real story to it. We could have done anything, and we're back to the main character is an alcoholic and a druggie. So I'm like, can we do anything else? So halfway through the film, where I saw where this was going, and I think they did this on purpose, that the Emmy Awards scene was truly tough to watch. Because here we were rooting for this couple, and we had, as an audience, got that completely taken away from us. I mean, it was totally that the rug was ripped out from under us. So, and then on top of that, now at the end he commits suicide. So that's why I say from the beginning, this is her story. And some of the cutting was kind of weird too. They did this whole thing where she was getting ready for this gig, etc. And we never even saw her go on stage. And they just cut to something else. So that was a little bit jarring. There was definitely a lot of problems with this film. And again, some people might like that, seeing that same film. And here I am, talking about superheroes and like that, where everybody would say, well, that's the same kind of film too. But, I mean, everybody has like a different flaw at least. But all these things have the same flaw. And, here we have the Freddie Mercury movie coming out about Queen, and I don't remember how he died in real life. And I'm afraid to go look before I see the film because I'm like, oh, it's the same thing over again where he's an alcoholic and a druggie and whatever else. Which I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping there was something else why he died. But yeah, so once they started going down that road where we were going to get this unhappy ending, I tuned out. And then they did a whole big thing in the beginning where they were sitting in front, which I thought was a great scene, by the way, of them sitting on in the parking lot of whatever the thing was, a Walmart or whatever. And they go into this about the fact that she's afraid to play her own music, right? Says, I don't want to play my own music on stage. So they did this whole big thing about her, not wanting to perform her own music. And then, of course, as the film went on, that was no longer a hurdle for her. After he brought her on stage for the first time, that was never heard of again. So they should have addressed it at least, or left it out completely. Because the whole fear thing, first of all, I did not see that in her character, where she had that kind of fear. I mean, here she was the first time you ever see her. She's performing something in French. So if she's able to do that, why wouldn't she be doing her own stuff? And maybe she thought she wasn't good enough about what people would think of her. But I didn't buy that as far as her character. So I think they just should have just left that out. But in the back of my head, I'm like, here she is. Okay, she's just doing it. She's doing it. And so there was no really hurdle for her to get over. But she was a saint. In this film, her character, Allie, was a saint. Because she put up with his crap completely. And no matter how much he screwed up, she would always be there for him. And I thought that, we were going to end up with La La Land, where she's like, I'm going to do my own thing. See ya. And but it never turned out that way. So I liked her character, but his character ruined it for me to the point where I was just like, okay, I'm tuning out because I know this is how this is going to end. So that was where my disappointment was for this film. And again, I felt it was very, very long. Maybe because I tuned out, I thought it really dragged towards the end. But I think that I just wasn't invested anymore. But anyway, that's my review of A Star Was Born. Again, people will probably like it more than me. I thought it was okay. Unfortunately, it was funny because I went to see Venom at the same day, and Venom was better than I thought it was going to be, and this was not as good as I thought it was going to be. So, but anyway, that's my spoiler review. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And again, thanks for watching, and subscribe. Talk to you soon.